For nearly 100 years, she has stood against the elements, welcoming millions with a beacon of hope. Now she's undergoing urgently needed major restoration. Won't you help us preserve our nation's symbol of freedom? Please send your tax-deductible gift to WUSA, Post Office Box 111, Minneapolis 55440. Don't let the sun set on an American dream.
This is WUSA, Channel 11, Minneapolis. WUSA is owned and operated by WUSA Gannett Company Incorporated. WUSA's entire broadcast schedule is a copyrighted original compilation work. No recording, retransmission, or other use may be made of WUSA's programming without the express prior written consent of WUSA Gannett Company Incorporated. Good morning. I'm Stuart A. Lindman, Director of Public Affairs at WUSA. It was on September 1st of 1953 that mine was the privilege to be the first on this brand new Minnesota television station. And what a thrill that was, to be the first one on Channel 11. And through the ensuing 32 years, this station has brought you the very best in broadcast news and public affairs, public service, sports, and entertainment. And certainly your support through the years attests to the fact that this station has taken its rightful place, not only in this community, but across the entire nation, among all national broadcast entities, as a premier station. And on this morning, I'm again honored by the management of this station, being given the privilege to be the first on Channel 11 to announce on this, the anniversary of the birthday of the United States of America, that this is WUSA. So happy birthday, America, and good morning, 11 country.
From the Twin Cities Action Center, News 11 Sunrise, your new choice for news.
Good morning and welcome to Sunrise. It's easy for me to remember the date today. This is the 4th of July.
You didn't even have to check the show rundown this morning.
And what a delight to have Stuart Lindman introduce WUSA to all of our community. Great to have him with us this morning.
Super to have him with us this morning. Barry Zavan is also with us this morning and can tell us exactly what the 4th of July will hold for us. Mr. Zavan?
Well, bring the umbrella to the picnic. Bring it to the picnic because we are going to have some... I'll speak from off camera. We're going to, yes, we're going to have a mixed bag of showers and thunderstorms on and off this morning, and maybe even later on this afternoon and this evening. The front has not even gone through yet, so it's still a little iffy, and we'll get to more of that in a little while.
Thanks, Barry. We did have a rocky night, however. There were no injuries as 5 tornadoes dropped out of the sky on the eve of the 4th of July. 2 twisters hopped through Garrison, Minnesota. 1 touched down just northeast of Brainerd. Another was sighted near Crosby, and the 5th on the south edge of Mille Lacs. The storm downed power lines and trees. It damaged a garage and a cabin and several barns in 3 counties. So we did have a busy night.
But besides that story, topping Sunrise this morning, Minnesota, of course, celebrates the 4th of July.
Yes, and in our state, that means boating and fishing. Christy Arndt is at Lake Minnetonka right now, where some of that is getting underway. Good morning, Christy.
Good morning, Marty, John. When we first got here to Lake Minnetonka, it looked like it was going to rain. Then it cleared up, and now I have to say, I think Barry's right. It's looking like rain again, but that hasn't been keeping the people from getting a bright and early start out here on the lake. They showed up to do their fishing and boating and water skiing, and let me tell you, here on Lake Minnetonka, they do start early. Before sunrise, this gentleman showed up, getting ready to do some early morning fishing. He said he had to show up in order to get a good parking spot early this morning, and he said he's going out getting ready to troll for northerns. This gentleman also said he was getting ready to go for troll for northerns, but he was going to do it from shore. Now, I haven't seen any of these fish yet this morning, but they guarantee me there are some big ones out here, and they say they're going to get it sometime today. One by one, the boats kept showing up, and the people kept showing up, and there's going to be more and more people and more boats out here by this afternoon. You can bet that most lakes in the area are going to be wall-to-wall people. And that brings us to our major concern, which is boat safety. And with me this morning is Richard Essenston, with the Water Patrol Safety, Hennepin County Sheriff's Department. Richard, can you tell me what some of the steps you guys are taking in order to make sure that it's a safe 4th of July for people on the boats?
Well, we'll have all of our boats out on the lake today. We'll have 4 on Minnetonka, and we'll have 1 patrolling the other lakes in the area. And we'll be doing safety checks throughout the day, checking for boat speed, keeping people within the speed limit. In our safety checks, we'll be looking for personal flotation devices, fire extinguishers, proper lighting, and horns on the boats. We ask people to keep their speeds down and have a good day.
Okay, thanks a lot for being with us this morning, Richard. And that's the one point we mainly want to stress is that have a good 4th of July, but if you're out on the lake, remember there are rules and just obey them, and then you'll have a happy 4th. Back to you in the studios.
Okay, Christy, we should suggest that you get on board before it gets too crowded out there today.
I think we will. It's looking a little rough out here right now.
Okay.
Thanks, Christy.
Have a good time. Well, if you're not heading to the lake this 4th of July, perhaps you'd like to take in a parade. You do have several choices. Annandale's parade begins this morning at 10. Or you can catch, that, by the way, is downtown. Or you could catch the one in Apple Valley. That's this afternoon at 1 p.m. at Pennock Avenue and County Road 42. There's also one in Forest Lake at 10 a.m. That's at Lakeside Park. And Monticello has its own parade at noon at West Bridge Park. In the Twin Cities, both Richfield and Shakopee. Richfield's at noon. Shakopee, well, that comes up in the afternoon at 5 p.m. at Murphy's Landing. So all of those July parades on host for today. If you ever wondered how Independence Day was celebrated 150 years ago, well, you can find out this morning at Fort Snelling. The day will begin with a 24-gun cannon salute this morning at 10. There will be toast to President John Quincy Adams, a pig roast, and Virginia reels. Admission is $1.50 for adults and 25 cents for children.
It'll be another mouth-watering celebration at the state capitol today as the Taste of Minnesota continues. More than 50,000 people showed up on opening day. Dale Shornack reports.
John, everywhere people are eating and smiling. And that's what the Taste of Minnesota is all about. Some of the most delicious food is served up here by some of the most colorful characters.
Sadia, chicken teriyaki, beef teriyaki, yakitori, come over here. Get your Henry's Pizza, a Taste of Minnesota. We love them, you buy them, and we got them, all right!
There's probably not a bigger menu to choose from in the world. Here you can munch on barbecued ribs, onion rings, pizza, and too many other foods to mention, but all delicious. More than 50,000 people passed through here on opening day, and probably no one made it out without sampling at least a few of the dishes. How is the food this year?
Very good, as usual.
Is that your favorite part of this event?
Well, mostly. I like to eat my way around.
Besides the food, this year you'll find a lot of arts and crafts for sale. Hats, ink drawings of scenes from around Minnesota, jewelry that's been handmade by Native American craftsmen, even wooden tables. Opening night, 60s rock and roller Rick Nelson played a free concert. Other musical acts later in the week include Helen Reddy and the Dirt Band. But if you're going just to eat, be careful not to spend too much money. That would surely be a great waste. For Sunrise, Dale Shornack, News 11 at the Taste of Minnesota.
Last year, more than 500,000 people attended Taste of Minnesota. More are expected this year. The annual Food Fest runs through Sunday at the state capitol grounds. A lot of people are planning to spend their holiday under the stars. Our Night Beat crew stopped by the campgrounds at Lake Independence. Some folks played Trivial Pursuit in their home, away from home, and others sat around the campfire, enjoying the night air and the crackling sounds of an outdoor fire. If you're planning to go camping, call ahead. Many of the campgrounds are already full.
While most people are planning where to see fireworks this evening, folks at the State Fairgrounds saw a colorful celebration last night. They got the jump on us. The sky became a background for bursts of fireworks color. The event was billed the loudest, the longest, and the largest holiday spectacular. I think it does qualify as that. And today's 4th of July celebration is a special one at TB11 as we do become, of course, WUSA.
And Stuart Lindman, our Director of Public Affairs, is back with us this morning to give an historical perspective to our new call letters. Stuart?
Thank you, John. It was back in 1953 that this station became a television station. And while we have had a few different sets of call letters during the past 32 years, there have been good people and good programs right here, very worth remembering this morning. From the engineers who helped to put us on the air, to Hank Meadows, who cooked for us at the fair, and then there was Casey Jones, who was always available for lunch, and Tony Hughes, who did the weather for us back in 1970. So we're a little more sophisticated now, especially in the studio, but while we nurtured television's infancy here, we're getting older, we're getting better. Still, some things never change, even though the faces may change through the years. We're still going out on location, all the better to see 11 Country, now WUSA's 11 Country.
No doubt about that this morning, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart. Stuart Lindman from our studios, and now we have to remember to say WUSA.
Yeah, not so hard to remember.
No,
actually.
it's pretty easy, isn't it?
Well, still to come this morning, there's a lot of money to win on this holiday. We'll tell you where to place your bet.
It is time to use extra caution when you're out in your car.
The Twins head to the Big Apple on a winning streak. Smiling Steve Carroll will be here with all the sports.
And the Cola Wars take to space. Those stories in our 11 Outlook, all up next. But first, here are some places to go see fireworks tonight.
RIF, Reading is Fundamental, is a nationwide program that gets kids into reading. And kids who read grow up to be adults who read.
Find out how RIF can help in your community, or even in your own home. Write RIF.
Because once a kid starts to read, the world is an open book.
Weekday afternoons at 11, start with Name That Tune. Then at 3:30, Life is Best One Day at a Time. And at 4, it's the comedy favorite Three's Company. And at 4:30, WKRP is on the air. Weekday afternoons.
TV 11, let's all be there.
Remember when TV went to color?
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
With state-of-the-art technology, TV 11 is the first Twin Cities television station to broadcast in stereo 24 hours a day. Enjoy the energy, the comedy, the drama in stereo. Only on TV 11.
68 degrees for you now at 6:42. There have been at least 3 traffic deaths nationwide since the July 4th weekend began just 12 hours ago. That's according to a count by United Press International. The National Safety Council says that 500 to 680 people could die in traffic accidents this weekend. The number of estimated fatalities has gone down in recent years because more people are using their seat belts, and of course all of the campaigns against drunk driving. Good words to remember.
Yes, those skies are just like they're ready to drop a little water on us, and yet they won't quite do it.
That's right. That front has just been hanging out to the west of us, and we expect that if you're going to try the picnic route today, why, take the umbrella and everything else, because it could dampen you, especially later on this morning. Let's take a look at what's happening right now. Clear skies, let's make that cloudy skies. 68 degrees, calm conditions at this hour. For our winds, dew point 61 degrees, 78% our relative humidity. The pressure right now is steady at 29.71 inches of mercury. Out in the backyard, as John mentioned, looks very, very ominous. We have heavy clouds hanging over us and some heavy rain showers. As a matter of fact, in parts of 11 Country right now, especially in St. Croix County, Wisconsin, and in Washington County, parts of Dakota County, and up around St. Cloud. It's showering right now. Most of this moving to the south and east very, very slowly, and that's the bad part, because the slower it moves, the more chance it has to develop some more energy to give it some more momentum to dump some rain on us. Take a look at right now, Well, I guess right now. Let's take a look at what's happening as far as the rest of the nation. 39 degrees at Gunnison, Colorado this morning, and 89 degrees in Phoenix for the low temperatures so far this morning. We see the view from space right now showing the cloud cover over much of 11 country, actually over most of Minnesota. The risk of severe thunderstorms is now for southern Wisconsin, parts of Illinois, Indiana, lower Michigan, central and lower Michigan for the next 24 hours. And we expect that that high risk is going to continue today to parade farther east. And as the day progresses, parts of Pennsylvania and Ohio will get it as well. Hot out to the west, and golf ball size hail in Bloomington, by the way, last night, out of some of that thunderstorm activity which did so much damage up farther north, and which Channel 11 will have a report on later on today. Let's take a look at our 11 outlook for today. Mixed sun and clouds, morning showers and thunderstorms expected. 83 to 86 are highs, winds northwest 12 to 18. Tonight, some clear skies and maybe a cloud or two, 57 to 61 for the lows. The 11 outlook for tomorrow is for a mixture again of sun and clouds, maybe a chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm again in the afternoon. 83 to 86 the highs, winds northwest 8 to 12. Saturday, nice day, sunny skies, 85, sunny on Sunday with 88. Monday, warm, 91. Good chance of maybe some isolated showers and thunderstorms popping up maybe each day. It's still unstable enough that the heat could trigger that.
Tough one to call, it sounds like, today, too, whether we're really going to get wet or not.
That's right, but I think this afternoon will be all right.
Okay, good. Thanks, Barry.
Yeah.
Well, the 4th of July holiday, of course, means picnics and parades and plenty of fun for just about everybody, but it is also a time that puts a special burden on blood banks. Now, these folks were found giving blood yesterday as part of a blood donor drive by First Federal, a community project by that company. Blood banks always have a drain on their resources just about this time of year, so if you can give but don't have time over this long weekend, perhaps you can drop by next week. They will still need your help. The War Memorial Blood Bank is at 2304 Park Avenue. That's across the street from Mount Sinai Hospital in downtown Minneapolis, or you can call them at 871-3300.
Still ahead for you this morning, a purse worth pursuing at Canterbury Downs. John knows all about it. He finally won some money.
At a bait shop with a different twist. Steve Carroll knows all about that. He'll have details and all the sports.
Water Bedroom Man here to announce my spectacular 1986 sale.
During this sales event, you can purchase the waterbed of your choice and have no payments until January.
Not only are there no payments till January, there's also 6-month interest-free financing.
Stop into the Water Bedroom today, buy a new waterbed or complete bedroom set, and have no payments till January of '86.
We'll be open July 4th from 10 to 6. Live at the Water Bedroom Superstores for my 1986 sale. Bloomington, Crystal, Roseville, and Findlay.
These people are on vacation, but they're working harder than they've ever worked before. Introducing Sugar Hills Victory Vacations, a week of exercise, a week of healthy food that will reshape the way you think and the way you look. Sugar Hills Victory Vacations. You'll finish better than you started. For reservations, call 1-800-PLAYLAND.
An athlete's ultimate test. July 7th at Lake Phelan in St. Paul, triathletes from all over run, swim, and bike for cash prizes totaling $25,000 in the first Champion Auto Stores Triathlon, Minnesota. Registration is open for this exciting sporting event. Entry forms available at any Champion Auto Store. Whether competing or watching, join TV11 at Triathlon, Minnesota as men and women strive to pass this grueling test. Competition at its best on TV11.
64 degrees. It's now 13 minutes before the hour. The second week of horse racing in Minnesota is out of the gate at Canterbury Downs. The action today gets underway at 2 o'clock this afternoon with a couple of stake races this holiday weekend. The USA Handicap will be run today with a purse of $25,000, and on Sunday, the Red River Valley Handicap with the purse worth $30,000.
Okay, fess up. Tell the folks how much you won last night.
Came away $5 ahead.
But tell them why.
Well, because my wife won the last race.
I love it. You can always depend on Barb to sort of help you out.
Yes, bails me out again.
Steve Carroll's going to bail us out now. He's got a fish story this morning.
It's kind of a fish story. You like to fish?
I do. I love to fish.
Where do you get your bait?
Well, I haven't bought bait around here, to tell you the truth.
Got The great idea.
The great idea.
The great
Uh-oh,
idea
here it
for it. Now,
comes.
this is a fish story to top all fish stories on this 4th of July. It's called the hottest new concept in coin-operated vending machines. What am I talking about? What else but the revolutionary Vendabait, a coin-operated bait shop that sells 5 different types of live fishing bait.
Brightest innovation that's happened in the United States, I think, since the hula hoop. We got live bait in a machine 24 hours a day for your convenience.
Now, Green was one of the inventors of this machine, and among the bait he carries are night crawlers at $1.65 a dozen, waxworms at $1.55 for a dozen, and leeches a half dozen for 95 cents. Now, besides refrigeration, how do they keep the bait fresh?
We have a special formula that we cannot reveal that we put into each package, and we can keep any bait alive up to 3 or 4 weeks.
Now, this machine located near the intersection of Broadway and Penn in North Minneapolis is the only one in Minnesota right now, but in a little more time than it takes to bait a hook, 20 more machines will pop up in the Twin Cities area. Seriously now, folks, the Twins will celebrate the 4th of July in New York as they open up a 4-game series with the Yankees tonight. The Twins are riding a 2-game winning streak after clobbering Cleveland last night at the Dome. The final there was 7-0. The Twins are now only 6.5 games out of first place. Highlights from the Metrodome now, even though it was a blowout, Twins played some great defense, especially in the early going. Watch the great over-the-shoulder catch by outfielder Tom Bernansky. Bruno's catch earned him a standing ovation from nearly 23,000 fans on hand at the Metrodome. Offensively, the star of the game was catcher Tim Laudner. He was 3 for 3 on the night, including this 2-run homer just inside the foul pole left field. Laudner finished with 6 RBIs and raised his batting average almost 30 points to 250. On the mound, Mike Smithson went the distance, showing signs of consistency. He fanned 6 batters and didn't allow an extra base hit as the Twins blanked Cleveland. The final score was 7-0. Other scores now, the Angels tipped Texas in 11, while Chicago lost to Seattle 5-1. The Blue Jays beat the Yankees in extra innings. Boston shut out Milwaukee 9-zip. The Tigers were a winner over Baltimore, and the Royals, they blanked the A's. The final was 3-zip. Just 2 games in the National League. It was the Mets over the Pirates, and the Cubbies got by the Phillies. The final score was 4-3. Turning to tennis now, the women's semifinals are all set to go for today at Wimbledon. Here's a look at the pairings now. Joint top seed and defending champion Martina Navratilova takes on 8th-seeded Zina Garrison. And in the other match, co-number 1 seed Chris Everloyd meets number 16 Kathy Rinaldi. Men's semifinals minus John McEnroe, who was bumped off. They get underway tomorrow.
The only thing I want to know is how much is the live bait?
Well, what are you looking for? Are you looking for night crawlers? 95 cents a dozen.
95 cents a dozen.
Yeah,
all right, not bad at all. That's just wonderful. What a nice giggle for July 4th. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Just ahead, the Freedom Celebration continues for the former hostages.
And Coke and Pepsi vie to go where no soft drink.
Lots of them, one right after another. The trucks are coming to Slumberland. The trucks are here, all of them, and they're filled with more great buys on more Sealy beds than this town has ever seen. Twin mattresses as low as $49, plus save $220 to $530 on every Posturepedic set. It's Slumberland Sealy truckload sale, and it's our biggest mattress sale of the year. If you've been considering the purchase of a mattress, your truck has just come in at Slumberland.
He's not gonna believe the real hot dog taste of your hot dog is Mr. Turkey.
Ask him.
You like it?
It's a real hot dog. Tell him my friends are lean. with lots of protein.
Mr. Turkey, people like our hot dogs because they taste so good. I like them because you made them.
Oh, real hot dog taste. Believe it. Mr. Turkey Turkey Franks.
68 degrees for you this morning at 6:52. Topping datelines this morning in California. A 3rd body has been found in the rubble of a fire in a Los Angeles neighborhood. The blaze in Baldwin Hills destroyed more than 50 homes. Homeowners will begin receiving disaster relief today. Other fires continue to burn, stretching from Monterey to San Diego. Many of them are believed to have been caused by arsonists. In Los Angeles, another death and stillbirth have been linked to Jalisco cheese. 55 people have died from a bacterial infection believed to be caused by the contaminated cheese. Authorities continue their investigation into the production of the cheese. It has never been sold in Minnesota. And in Washington, the National Education Association has made a turnaround. The nation's biggest teachers union is now in favor of testing teachers for competency. Only first-year teachers would have to take the tests.
The former hostages are all back in the United States on this day. All Americans celebrate freedom. The crew members of the plane talked for the first time yesterday about what happened. And they remember the worst moment is when the hijackers started beating the Navy divers on board.
They wrenched one of the arms off Mr. Zimmerman's flight engineer chair and used that as a club to beat these young men. They would jump on them with all of their weight on their bodies repeatedly.
They loved this very macho image of waving a machine gun and a grenade in their teeth and a fist in the air, and you know, anything that had sort of a... They had seen all the American movies of how a great war hero behaves, and this was the image they all wished to project.
The Reagan administration has put a price on the heads of the original hijackers, offering $500,000 each for information about the men.
Topping business news, United Airlines and its flight attendants have reached an agreement on a major issue left unresolved after the month-long strike. The flight attendants who honored picket lines will be back on the job by September 1st. All U.S. stock and commodity markets will be closed today for the holiday. Bank, government offices, and most businesses will, of course, be closed. And the cola that was hoping to go where no other soft drink had gone before is upset with NASA this morning. Coke says NASA violated its agreement by allowing Pepsi to go along on the space shuttle to test experimental cans. And it continues.
Yes, the saga goes on. Still to come on Sunrise, some special melons hit the auction block.
Melons? Okay, Diane Rossi will tell you where to make your bid, I guess, in our Daybook. We'll be right back.
If your color prints look this bad, try Pro-X. They catch and fix color problems because they check every picture twice. Pro-X 1-hour photo.
We're booming with bargains. This 4th of July weekend, all weekend long at Sun Valley Waterbeds, have we got a boomer of a sale for you. Explosive savings on waterbeds and bedroom furniture.
That's right, Carolyn. And this Thursday, July 4th, all 48 of our showrooms nationwide will be open with special hours, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. 9 solid hours of dynamite deals on the best selection of waterbeds and furniture. It's Thursday, July 4th at all Sun Valley Waterbeds.
Stretch out on a Sun Valley waterbed.
Remember when TV went to color?
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
With state-of-the-art technology, TV 11 is the first Twin Cities television station to broadcast in stereo 24 hours a day. Enjoy the energy, the comedy, the drama in stereo. Only on TV 11.
68 degrees for you now at 4 minutes before the hour of 7. From our headlines this morning, Independence Day is in full swing.
That means Minnesotans are heading to the lake. This is a live picture from Grays Bay on Lake Minnetonka. Some fishermen are already getting out and getting the hook ready for this holiday weekend. And if you're not heading to the lake today, why not drop in at the state capitol for a taste of Minnesota? There's probably not a bigger menu to choose from in the entire world. More than 50,000 people showed up on opening day yesterday.
Yes, and the sky was ablaze with color last night over the state fairgrounds. The colorful celebrations like this will be seen all over the Twin Cities tonight to commemorate July 4th, Independence Day, 1985. Cannot miss the action today.
Nope. And in our Daybook, a summertime fruit, speaking of action, goes on the auction block.
That's what you meant by melons.
Absolutely.
Diane Rossi has details for us this morning. Diane, are you there?
Good morning, everyone. Watermelons go on the auction block at noon today. That's at the Coffee House Extempore in Minneapolis. The featured black diamond melons will be sold to the highest bidders. And we have another tasty treat for you this morning. This one, an old-fashioned ice cream social. The fun gets underway at 1 o'clock, and it's at the Coon Rapids Visitor Center. And finally, the Indian national cricket team is in town and will be showing off their skills in an afternoon match. The game starts at 11 o'clock, and it's at Bryn Mawr Park. That will do it from the newsroom this morning. Now let's go back to you in the studio.
All right, Dan, coming up tonight in sports, the Twins, they're in the Big Apple to take on the Yankees, hoping to extend their winning streak to 3 games. We'll have highlights tonight at 10. Barry?
The front's just about over the top of our heads. Don't worry about it. It's going to mean sunshine by about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Mixed sun and clouds, maybe a shower or thunderstorm this morning east of the Twin Cities. 83 to 86 our highs, winds northwest.
Aren't you glad?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I know why, too, because you got up early this morning.
Real early. Our cameras were there outside the Zivan home when he came right outside the house.
He does this every morning, of course.
Here he
This
is.
is nothing new.
That was this morning, just a couple hours ago.
But we thought we'd just show you that Mr. Zivan is also correct and patriotic.
Yes.
Correct about the forecast and patriotic about the flag.
Notice where
Go
he
for
puts
it,
his
Barry.
flag. It's right by the door so we can get right back inside and go
In
back
case
to bed.
it's raining. Good for you,
That is
Bear.
nice, Barry.
Well, thousands of people will join Barry in doing that today.
Good example, and we hope that you will enjoy this very special day. Have a
Yes.
good, fun day filled with family activities, I'll bet.
And thank you for joining us on WUSA.
Yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow morning bright and early.
Bye-bye.
Friends, wait till you see this selection of Viking, Chevrolet, and Fridley. Here's a 1978 Honda. Look at this. $49 down, $79 a month. Here's a 1983 Chevy S10 pickup. Automatic power steering, power brakes. $49 down, $139 a month. Here's a 1979 Ford pickup. Oh, look at this. $49 down, $99 a month. And you're going to love this unit. Yeah, a 1980 Ford van. Oh, friends, look at the price. $3,688. We'll see you where? Here.
Now on